Okay, I'm watching TV, and I'm watching a Japanese television station, and the station is talking about family restaurants in Japan, which I thought was very interesting because I've been to Japan 3 times, and when I go on trips like that, even in the United States, I tend to buy my food as cheaply as I can buy it, which is where, like grocery stores, and in the United States, when me and my family went on vacation, okay, for 1 week a year, we would go to the beach. We'd go to a nearby beach on the east coast of the United States, about 2.5 hours from our house. I think that's how long it was. And what we would do would be we'd buy microwavable dinners. And this was a real treat. We'd go to restaurants. Excuse me for saying we couldn't afford it, okay? So it was fun for us to eat these microwavable dinners. Why? Because my wife and we always cooked what's called real food, okay? We buy vegetables from the vegetable section and cook them and eat them. We didn't buy frozen vegetables normally at home. And we buy chicken from the meat section of the chicken part of the grocery store, and we'd buy fish and this kind of thing. And we didn't buy frozen stuff usually. And we'd buy these things and we'd cook them and eat them because we felt that was the most healthy way to eat. However, when we went on vacation, my wife, she'd like a break. She was the director, if you will, of these operations. I helped out, but she was the director and she wanted a rest. She was on vacation, so excuse me for saying it this way, we couldn't afford restaurants, so I'm not crying a poor mouth. We loved what we were doing, okay? This is a family expression in my family, crying the poor mouth. Okay, I'm not crying the poor mouth, trying to get sympathy. Oh, he couldn't afford to buy restaurant. No, we had a ball buying microwavable dinners. We buy lasagna, for example. It was great. It was delicious lasagna. Maybe it's not healthy to eat all the time, but once in a while it's not going to kill you. So we buy microwavable lasagna. It was delicious. And we buy all kinds of treats this way that you find in this part of the food store. And they say those foods are all full of kind of additives to hook you and make you addicted and so on. And full of stuff that's not good for you. But on 1 week a year we would do this. That's all. So for us it was fun. Now, why am I making... Oh, yeah, because I'm watching on Japanese television about family restaurants in Japan. And what do I notice? Well, I'm not going to say any names, but they're referring here to a family restaurant from America in Japan. And what is the reputation of this particular family restaurant in America? Well, I'm not going to say any names, but from what I hear in the news frequently about this place, it often comes up as being criticized for what? Being racist against African American customers. That's what I often see about this restaurant. So for that reason, I have never visited that restaurant. Now, is it because I'm a super political correct guy? No. I'll say the reason in a minute. Let me finish what I'm saying here. So, for the same reason, I don't use a particular app available online. Because why? The American government says that another country is using that app to get information on Americans it shouldn't have. Okay? So, I think the American government is outlawed the use of this app for people who work in the American government. I don't know the exact details here, but I see on the news over and over that the American government has a problem with this app. So Do I download that app? Never. And I don't even look at anything on that app. I don't use it at all, okay? Because I'm super patriotic. Well, I may be super patriotic, but I don't like the people in power at all here. I don't mean specifically who's ever president now and so on. I'm talking about the past 40 years in America. I'm not talking about this instant. I mean, this instant and the past 40 years in America. All of it has been bad for me. Okay, so I don't use this app because the American government doesn't like it. But it's not because of what you might think, okay? So what else is there? There's that app, that restaurant, and there's a particular sports industry favorite among young people that makes like shoes, athletic shoes, and athletic wear. It's very famous. But what did I hear about that company? I almost said country. What did I hear about that company? Well, I heard and I read, stories that this company was using workers in a foreign Asian country, paying them pennies. And such things were happening where a bunch of workers were like working like slaves, chained into a damn place where they're going to work for pennies, and a fire breaks out because they're all chained in there. They die in there. Stuff like this happened in the United States like a century ago, which the dog is eating the tripod, so I have the camera on. Okay, so I do not use this athletic let me put this on pause. We got a puppy here we're trying to manage. Okay, so this particular sports company, I do not use anything with their name on it, even if it's used stuff, because I just about buy all my stuff from thrift stores. This and so on. Well, this I bought from a very inexpensive store that I like. I'm not going to say the name. It's the same with the hat. I've owned this hat for like 20 years, and so on. So I don't use anything from this sports company, even at a thrift store. I will not wear that logo anywhere. Now, some people say, well, these companies cleared these things up, and it's gone now. They fixed the problem. However, the United States declared that I'm crazy when I was 28. Has it let go of that, in spite of the overwhelming facts that show that that's ridiculous? I'm sorry I'm getting angry, but I can't help it. Anger is not allowed in the United States. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but you're allowed to be anything here but angry. You are not allowed to be angry in the United States. That's my opinion about what it's like to be here. Do I like being in the United States? No. So I don't let go of these things the way the United States hasn't let go on me. Okay? I'm still certified crazy after over 40 years in everything I've done in my life. My life is coming to an end. Apparently I'm going to die this way. The crazy uncle of my family, the crazy man of America, okay? This is an outrage, and that's why I'm angry. So I don't let go the way America has not let go either, and I'm not going to let go. You come up for accusations like that, I'm going to hold on the way you've held on to this thing on me. Who am I? I'm crazy. I'm certified crazy. No, I'm not. I am not. Well, I saw that on Japanese television, and it spurred this response from me. That's all from me for now. Bye for now. I got to make this quick footnote on the subject of anger, okay? I said this before, let me say it again. As Northrop Frye said, he wouldn't trust a man who didn't repeat himself. So, let me repeat. In a country like Italy, I happen to be of Italian heritage on my father's side. And I've been to Italy, and I have Italian relatives and so on. And I got to say, over there in Italy, anger is perfectly a part of everyday life. if you go and visit Italy and you're going through towns over there, you will see people get angry in public. And they'll be, che cosa fai con questo? And they're going to straighten it. They'll go through that and straighten it out. Okay? Are they calling security on the person? No. They'll talk it out and fix it. Okay? What do you see in Italy? Do you see people with guns shooting into crowds of innocent people? You don't see that there. Do you see in Italy people taking a car and running into a crowd with it because they're angry? You don't see that in Italy. Okay? So, in Italy, you are allowed to be angry, and things that are angry get fixed. Without security being called, people being arrested for getting emotional, when they should have every right to be emotional, okay? The boss does something wrong and you get angry, you got a right to be angry, but not in the United States, you don't. Increasingly now, although when I was a kid growing up here, the customer is always right. Now that I'm an adult, it seems like the customer's never right. And so, you're going to argue with the boss in the store? No, you're not. You'll be arrested for it. And you don't raise your voice with me, sir. You're not allowed to get angry in the United States. Is this good? Well, I'm saying, in my opinion, that is why we have people taking a gun, going out and shooting indiscriminate, innocent people with it. Because they're not allowed to be angry. It's that simple, okay? And that's how their anger comes out. That's why they drive their car into a crowd of people. Now, is this something I would do? No. Just because I'm talking about it doesn't mean I'm going to do that. I'm saying this is why this is happening in the United States. You're not allowed to be angry here. That's all.